My name is Tafazo Mkwali. I'm an academic. My questions, the bulk of them are directed to Dr. Francis. And is that?
Oh. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, yeah, man. Okay, the bulk of my questions are directed to Dr. Francis. Dr. Francis, the last time I read about you and what you stand for, I quite get very afraid to listen to you, particularly because of what's been associated with you, especially if the recent media pronouncement are anything to go by. You are alleged to have gone or worked in cahoots with certain colleagues from the opposition to smuggle certain victims in Mozambique, from Mozambique into Zimbabwe through Zaraban, wrote a paper to Ambassador Katriona Liang and the EU Ambassador Mr. Van Dem. And in that paper, you alleged that those two were victims of Zanu PF violence through during the time of the elections. Yet it is a fact, as it is now confirmed, inclusive of their relatives. They have confirmed that. The Zimbabwe Human Rights Commission sent a delegation there, and it has been confirmed that those people met their fate when they were in Mozambique for whatever they did there, but it never happened within the land between Zambezi and Limpopo. You took them, you hid them in what you have thought to be a safe house in Hatfield, but I'm sure those who are quite very ginger and would have wanted to see them would have just seen them. Okay? But in your own view, that was a safe house. In the process of of being asked by the government to substantiate your claims, you were found neither here nor there. In any case, you are said to have disappeared. Only that the two ambassadors that you had been fed by a diet of propaganda that you generated had the guts to see the government to go and attempt to substantiate your claims. But as the primary investigator or so-called investigator of those instances, you were never, you were not seen anywhere near the government corridor to substantiate your claims. Okay. It is out of that basis that I become very much afraid to listen to you, insofar as you even have the guts to speak before this panel to say, I was invited improperly by the Vice President in a manner that suggests as if you would have wanted a motorcade to be sent to take you to the government corridors or the government offices to substantiate your claims.
Okay, thank you.
No, I'm just brief. Finalizing my question.
Tafazo.
Yes, very briefly. I'm even more appalled by the fact that your investigation has been proved otherwise, completely far away from the truth. Do you think you are still listenable, especially coming even from an organization that has been implicated in financial massive embezzlements from your former funders who have blacklisted you, and you say it is one of them? And wouldn't your claims be spoken or known to be, or in fact, labeled as desperate antics of a person that is completely dry? And in any case, does CSU has any other funding mechanism than, beyond making claims of violence?
Okay, thank you. Tafazo,
no,
I think
just rounding
off.
There
are a lot of people who also have questions.
No, I'm just rounding
You said
off.
Last question. No, that's enough. Can we now give Dr. Lovemore the chance to respond?
I will not ask again.
Aiwa.
Just
okay,
violence.
10 seconds. Chika, because we're not going to have an argument here. Okay. I already gave you enough time, more than anyone else, like even the gentleman who has spoken. So can you? I'm giving you 10
Mr.
seconds.
Derek, you talk about. You insinuate about what you call a crisis of legitimacy, and you say the country deserves greater legitimacy. Doesn't that seem like an insult to the makers of our constitution and the republic, who in their mind agreed, and the people that voted for that constitution in 2013 agreeing that the person simply needs 50% plus one vote? If you say greater legitimacy, you are insinuating that somebody should have won with 60% or something like that. I'm sure Mr. Chinoka has referred you to the Al Gore and George Bush issue. And in fact, the President of the Republic even referred those of that disposition to the case of Harold Wilson within the former British Prime Minister and the circumstances under which he ruled.
Okay.
So are you saying that it was wrong for people to vote for Nelson Chamisa because it didn't give ED too much votes that would have satisfied you?
Okay, thank you.